Welcome to today's explainer. Look, if you're navigating the high stakes world of higher education, you already know that time management is literally everything. But let's be real, life just happens, right? Unpredictably busy weeks hit us all. So today, we're zeroing in on a highly specific but absolutely crucial skill: professional academic correspondence. We're going to break down exactly how to communicate with your professors when things inevitably go off the rails, and we're using proven scripts that'll protect your academic reputation and, actually get you the results you need. Picture this. It's 11 p.m. You're completely exhausted, the screen is just glaring back at you, and you're staring at a totally blank email draft. You've fallen behind, you desperately need a favor from your professor, but the sheer terror of seeing the wrong thing, of sounding lazy or unprofessional, well, it's got you completely paralyzed. Honestly, we've all experienced this exact flavor of panic. It's that nagging fear of damaging a professional relationship just because you don't quite know the right words to use when you're in a tough spot. And while you're sitting there paralyzed by that fear, the clock just keeps on ticking. Okay, let's dive into our roadmap for today. We'll be covering 1. The blank email panic. 2. Professional etiquette core rules. 3. Script the deadline extension. 4. Script asking for help. And finally, 5. Hitting send with confidence. Section 1. The blank email panic. Conflicts are inevitable. It is absolutely vital to recognize that as your schedule gets packed, academic conflicts aren't just some rare possibility, they are an inevitable reality. You are not an anomaly for finding yourself in a tight spot. Remember this, needing help does not equal failure. Reaching out to your professors is a completely standard, expected part of the academic grind. Your professors know you're human, and they fully anticipate that issues are going to pop up throughout the semester. So the anxiety you're feeling, it shouldn't be about the fact that you need to ask for help. Instead, channel that energy into making sure how you ask is polished and respectful. Paralyzing fear really only leads to avoidance, which, let's face it, always makes things worse. When you dodge sending that email, you turn a tiny scheduling hiccup into a massive academic crisis. Moving on to Section 2, Professional Etiquette Core Rules. Fundamental Principles. So before we hand over the exact scripts, we really need to shift our focus away from that emotional panic and look at the fundamental rules of how academic correspondence actually works. Look, we've all been tempted to write a 1,000-word essay involving our roommate, our dog, and, a spontaneously combusting printer. It's a completely natural reaction to stress to over-explain and justify yourself. Actually, scratch that, it's almost a reflex. But think about it from the professor's perspective for a second. To a professor managing maybe 200 students, reading a dramatic backstory is absolutely exhausting. It blurs the lines of your request and honestly usually comes off as just making excuses. Calm, professional restraint, on the other hand, strongly signals maturity. Concisely asking for guidance without all the drama shows immense respect for your professor's time, and it instantly elevates their perception of you as a serious student. Let's rapidly rattle off the essential do's and don'ts derived from our source material to set our baseline here. First, absolutely do use a formal greeting. Don't ever start an email with "Hey prof" or just "Hi." That instantly undermines your professionalism before they've even read your actual request. Do be concise, get straight to the point. Remember, they're skimming through dozens of these emails. Don't demand anything, always request. There's a massive difference between "I need an extension" and "I am requesting an extension." And this next one is absolutely crucial. Do propose a solution. Don't just dump a problem on their desk and expect them to fix it for you. Show them you're taking ownership of the whole shebang. Let's move to our next segment and see exactly how this builds into our very first template. Which brings us to Section 3, Scripts, the deadline extension, professional scripts. Now, what's really interesting about this is how beautifully simple it is. Here is your clean, copy-paste utility script for when you fall behind and just need a bit of breathing room. Quote, "Dear Professor, name. Due to an unexpected conflict, I am writing to respectfully request a brief extension on assignment until date." That's it. It doesn't over-explain the unexpected conflict, it doesn't grovel for forgiveness, and super importantly, it doesn't leave the new timeline open-ended. You literally just fill in the brackets and boom, you immediately have a highly polished professional request ready to go. Let's actually deconstruct the anatomy of why this specific script works like a charm. Step 1 is the formal greeting. This establishes immediate respect and acknowledges the power dynamic in the academic setting. Step 2 is the direct ask. You're stating exactly what you need right out of the gate in the very first sentence, without burying it down in paragraph 3 where it might get missed. Step 3 is your proposed solution. And honestly, this is your secret weapon. By giving a specific new date, you completely remove the mental burden from the professor. You aren't vaguely asking them, "Hey, when can I turn this in?" You're telling them your exact plan, making it incredibly easy for them to just reply with a quick yes. And finally, step 4 is the professional sign-off, thanking them for their time. Once you understand these mechanics, you essentially control the narrative of the entire conversation. Next up, Section 4, Script, Asking for Help. Request extra help. Now, sometimes the issue isn't time at all, it's comprehension. So here's how you ask for help without sounding completely lost or helpless. Quote, Dear Professor Name, I am struggling to grasp concept. Could I schedule a brief meeting during office hours to ensure I am on the right track? Notice how this carefully crafted language frames your request. It shows immense initiative. You aren't just throwing your hands up and saying, I don't get anything, please teach it to me again. No, you're identifying a very specific, targeted hurdle, and you're respecting their time by utilizing their designated office hours. And this brilliantly illustrates the strategy of taking charge of your own learning. Think about it from the professor's side for a second. A student who just emails, I don't get it, is effectively asking the professor to do all the heavy lifting. But step 1, stating the specific struggle, combined with step 3, showing proactive intent, proves you've actually tried to do the reading and genuinely engage with the material. Using phrases like, ensure I am on the right track, basically communicates that you are already moving forward. You just need a quick course correction, not a full-on tow truck. This specific framing completely transforms you from a burdensome student into an engaged learner, which, honestly, makes a professor genuinely want to help you succeed. Finally, we arrive at Section 5, hitting send with confidence. Ultimately, what this comes down to is that professional scripts completely eliminate anxiety and fiercely protect your academic reputation. By relying on these structured rules of etiquette, you're essentially guaranteeing that you never sound unprofessional when those inevitable life conflicts pop up. You successfully transform what could be a moment of intense emotional panic into a simple, standardized administrative task. It's a real game changer. Instead of staring at a blank screen for an hour, sweating it out, you just open a template, swap out a few words, and you're done. You protect your image, you deeply respect your professor's boundaries, and most importantly, you efficiently secure the help or the time that you actually need to thrive in your coursework. So, I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative question. How much stress could you save this semester just by changing your communication habits? Seriously, think about the hours lost to worrying over a blank email draft and the heavy toll that anxiety takes on your actual studying. It's huge. The next time you face a deadline panic or hit a solid brick wall with a complex concept, remember these scripts. Don't let the panic take over. Just plug your specific situation into these templates, take a deep breath, and hit send with absolute confidence. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep communicating clearly.